Hey guys, I haven't done this in a really long time. Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. Is that what I say? Yeah, but I don't really like saying that anymore. But that's what this is and who I am. So, that's it. Clever. So I haven't really filmed anything in about 2 months. I've taken a nice vacation break from the whole social media, YouTube, everything. I've just kind of cut myself off from it for a little bit. Many reasons why, but I think it was a well-deserved break. Of course, I've continued to work on the house. You can obviously see I got my countertops put in. This is granite. That looks messy. As well as do a lot of the trim around the windows and right there. I did a lot of the trim little pieces that go everywhere. But I kind of wanted to give you kind of like a walkthrough of my 90% done kitchen. One of the many reasons I took a vacation from filming and YouTube and stuff like that was because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was kind of trying to figure it out, and it's real hard to make videos when you're figuring something out. But you can see I finished doing this right here. This is done, and then these cabinets are done. I love and hate this at the same time. I think this turned out pretty cool. I know the lighting's not the greatest, but it's got the walnut inlays there, and it's really just industrial looking, beefy, strong, built to last type look on it. I don't know. So I was alright with this because these were such small pieces inside here. Now of course I plan to do my doors the same way, and so I spent several months, not several months, but like a month making the door, and I think it looks like I hate it. Like I can't even describe to you how much I hate that and how ugly it is, and it's just everything. I ran it by a couple of my friends to see what they thought. Some people suggested cutting this metal up to like here, then doing an angle right here, so that this is white leading into this, because I feel like these are very contrasting. Big words. So I could do that, but I don't think that's going to fix how much I hate this. I think, I'm not a designer or anything, but I feel like the horizontal lines with the vertical lines are like taboo. It just doesn't go well with houses or designs. I don't know what the words are, but it just doesn't aesthetically, it's not aesthetically pleasing. So here I'm at now, 2 months into doing this little projects, and I've realized I hated something. So what are the options? So I've been looking at a lot of pictures online. Originally I wanted to do white cabinets, like not white, but like rustic white. I'm 99% sure that that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to make raised panels for all these, and then hopefully find a painter that can make them look like I want them to look, or if I can do it myself. I don't think I can. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I can. Of course, I'll try. I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, well, what if you do some crackle? Some crackle would look nice, Daniel. I think that would be kind of autistic-y. Artistic, you mean? Yeah, that's what I said. Daniel, no, don't change my words. So one of the huge problems is that I have like $1,000 worth of walnut. Not even, no, because I've used maybe $400. So I got about $600 of walnut that I don't really have anything to do with. So what I think I've decided to do is I'm going to buy most likely poplar or some type of good paintable wood, and make raised panels out of that wood. And then I'm going to take that walnut that I have and make my bed frame. I was originally going to make my bed frame out of some cherry, but since I've got that walnut, and the bed frame's really never seen, but the walnut's really pretty, it should be seen. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use the walnut, I guess, to make my bed frame, to raise it up off the ground just a little bit so airflow can get underneath the bed, and it keeps the house clean. Doesn't make sense, but you need air circulation under your bed. That's what box spring. That's what a box spring is for. Get the air underneath your bed, because you're nasty when you sleep. You sweat. It's disgusting. So maybe in one of these future videos, I'm going to show you how I make one of these raised panels. I'm probably going to do that tonight, is I'm going to make one, or I'm going to try to. I won't finish it because I'm missing a crucial router bit, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to test out my raised panel theory with this piece right here. It won't open because there's sinks behind it, but it should open. I put hinges on it just for aesthetic looking. It looks the same. I need to put door pulls, hand pulls, whatever. But I figured this would be an easy one to test out my theory, or my my idea and see how it looks. But I also finished, this is like 99% done, but my movable rack that has storage this way, this will end up being a end grain butcher block, which I will film that one day. That's a plan in the future. But this gives me, this is like my pantry. It gives me plenty of storage for food and stuff. This will hold, I need the poles. This will hold dishes and cups and silverware. And then up top it's going to hold pots and pans and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in my rough plan for where I'm moving forward to. Basically, I'm going to go way back and redo it all just because I don't like it. And I've got all the time in the world and not a lot of money, but enough money to mess around with stuff. And I mean, I've said it before, but this is a hobby of mine. This is something that I enjoy doing. So if it adds 6 months more to this project, it's not a big deal. So that's what I'll do. You know, speaking of 6 months, you know, this is 3 years. We're coming up on the 3-year mark of when I started this tiny house build. Also wanted to do kind of like a review video of all the appliances and stuff that I've gotten. The dishwasher, I've only used it like 3 or 4 times. I generally cook really small meals, so I might dirty one pot, a fork, a knife. That's about it. I use paper plates. So I don't really use the dishwasher. I've used it about 3 times maybe. It's kind of annoying because luckily I have it on a light switch so I can shut it off. But it beeps, and it beeps randomly for no reason. I don't know. Just, I mean, it does a good job. The beeping though is annoying. It's so annoying. And then if you did watch when I installed this, I had lowered it way down, but I did raise it up so that it sits nicely inside this. And then you can't really notice any imperfections with like how it's installed because originally it was kind of messed up. You might not have seen that. The stove, this is a Premier 4-burner propane stove. You get this in natural gas or propane. So I have no complaints about this. Boils water. It cooks frozen pizzas. That's all I need. It'll run all 4 burners at once and the oven at the same time. So there's enough propane going to it. One thing I really dislike is this the clock on it. Originally I couldn't figure out how to plug the clock in. There was a thing that you had to undo. But I did figure it out and hook the clock up. But that's it. It's a clock. And in today's day and age, who needs a clock? You have a cell phone. If you don't have a cell phone, I'm sorry, but I don't wear a watch because I have a cell phone, and I always have my cell phone on me. What I need is a timer, you know? 15 minutes, frozen pizza, boop, done. But again, I use my cell phone for that. Or I just look at it. 29 minutes, 15, that's 44. That was quick math. That was good. Whew. Yeah, kind of pointless. And then that blue light is like bright as hell during the night. Like it will literally light up this whole room, so you don't even need to turn any lights on because that light is so bright. Not a bad thing. Does what I need it to do. And it's bigger than what you see in most tiny houses. Most tiny houses don't even put ovens or this. They don't put dishwashers and they don't put this. I mean, nowadays they are kind of putting bigger ovens in them. And then the last thing I have is my refrigerator. I have not used this. It draws too much electricity for the amount of electricity that I have coming to my house. I ran a really small cord from my power source to here. So I don't want to overdraw and start a fire or anything. I would assume it would trip before I do that. But I don't need this right now because I still have my little fridge right there. Little fridge with the microwave over in the corner. Eventually, once I get a bigger cord, more power to the house, that's going out of here. Probably the same time I get the couch. Oh, and a TV. Ooh. This will be great once I have it because I do want a larger fridge because I go grocery shopping all the time, every day, every other day, whenever I go. And I normally just buy stuff for 2 or 3 days. So this will allow me to get more crap. Because everybody needs more crap that lives in a tiny house. Not true. So I can't really tell you how this works, but it's a damn refrigerator. It freezes stuff, and it refrigerates stuff. So like I said, I did get my Granite countertops. I absolutely love them. I think they're pretty cool. Originally, I'd chosen a different color or different whatever. And then more looking at it, the more I realized that this fit the house much better because it's got hints of black, hints of of like brown, kind of like coppery. So it brings this rusted steel backsplash into it because that kind of looks coppery. So it brings the copper in, the black with the appliances, and then the white or the yellowish, whatever, to lighten up the space. I've definitely noticed that using bright colors is important in this small space because it just makes it feel bigger. I knew that going into this whole project, but for some reason I was just like, whatever. So when they came and installed the countertops, I had a soap dispenser, so we drilled out for that. And then I had my faucet on site so that both these holes could be drilled. So when I went and got the countertops, I went and picked out the sample that I wanted. And they had little blocks, like 6-inch blocks. You could take as many as you wanted. And I brought, the two that I had narrowed it down to, brought them back and checked it out. I gave them rough measurements, within an inch of how big these were and then how big the cutout for the sink was. And then they gave me a rough quote for the countertops. It was like $1,200 or something like that. So after I agreed to that, they had some guy come with this really like fancy tool that is like a 3-axis measuring device. I don't know what it's called, but I seen it on Orange County Choppers a long time ago. Tell you what, they never used it either. They just put it in the corner. $30,000. God damn. But anyways, he came and he measured, just took this little needle and poked everywhere. And it made a, like a CAD drawing. And then I had my sink mounted in here, and he went around and touched it all. When you get underlay sinks installed, you can have the granite overhang a little bit, or you can have it flush, or you can have it back. I wanted it just back a little bit, because if it overhangs, you end up with like a, if you don't clean your sink correctly, like if you don't get up into that edge, you'll end up with like a mildew growing underneath that lip. So if you keep your countertop back or flush, then it's easier to clean and you don't end up with that greenish slime underneath that edge. Obviously, if you cleaned it though, you wouldn't get it. So I told him that I wanted it like a 1/16 inch back from the edge of the sink. He did the measurements, he did the computer drawings, and he fucked up. As far as I'm concerned, didn't really come out that good. It's about a 1/4 inch off on the front here, and then it was also about 3/16 off side to side. So I had to plane down this sheet of plywood that runs underneath here so I could shift the sink over to get this in so it fit nicely on the sides and on the back. I could have been a dick about it and been like, nah, take it out. I want, recut it, redo it. But it's not that bad. It's one of those things where I've put so much time and energy into making this house as nice as possible and as perfect, if I can use that word, that this little thing kind of upsets me. But it's in the overall scheme of things, it's not that bad. I've made plenty more mistakes in the whole house that this is not that big of a deal. I did use a copper sink from Syncology, not sponsored. They did reach out to me, though, on Instagram and said, if you need anything, let us know. You tagged us in that post, and it just did wonderful. But it is a hand-hammered copper sink. I don't know. I don't think it's hand-hammered. I think it's just put into a thing, and it's like, whoosh, pressed, and I spit. Whatever. But, yeah, it's nice. There's a bunch. If you're going to do copper sinks, there's a bunch of rules that you have to follow. Otherwise, you can screw it up. Don't leave a pot in the sink. So, men, don't get copper sinks because you're going to make a dirty sink. Me. I can't keep the thing clean. And it looks like shit because I keep putting shit I'm not supposed to in there. So, above the fridge, I left this kind of open. Originally, I was going to do some cabinetry there. I've talked about doing a computer screen. Like I've said in other videos that I plan to sell this thing. So, I kind of wanted to give the future owner options for this house. I would not want a microwave in my house. I do have one and I use it just to cook a potato every once in a while. But I don't want to have a microwave in my finished house. But this is a perfect spot to put a future microwave. Obviously it'll be an eyesore, but this gives options to put stuff up here. A little more difficult to access because this height, if I go down my stairs into my kitchen, can you see me? This is chin height. So that's got to be, that's what? Big. So that's tall. You make no sense. But yeah, it's got to be about like 5'4", 5'6" right here. I don't know. About that. But you could still put a microwave up here and have that as an option. And then I've also put the countertop on top of the bar with my swing away benches. Brought to you by benchcrafted.com. Not really. Not really. Still bitter, Dan? Yes, I'm entitled. But I think this came out absolutely boom, perfect. I love it. Got my footrest. I put the trim on here. Got the trim down bottom. I trimmed it out. It's all trimmed out. Might do a piece of trim here. I'm going to wait on how the cabinets turn out to figure out what I'm going to do with this piece of wood. Am I going to leave this here? Or I'm going to paint it white? I'm not sure. Am I going to cut it out and put some pieces in there to make it kind of blend in better? Not sure. So this little bit, I know you're thinking like, well, that's fine, Dan, just leave it. No, you know me. Might change that a little bit, modify it. But this is definitely plenty of space for two people to enjoy a nice meal. One thing I like about this up here is you can put, you know, those extras up top here. Eat your food. You want more mashed potatoes? Okay, you can just get the mashed potatoes off there, and then you can eat them here. So I've also finished up most of the railing here. I haven't fastened it down because I still have to trim around this window, and I need to get tools in there, so this will be in the way. So I did expanded metal here, and I rusted it and then clear coated it with like a glossy clear coat, and then I finished the box tubing here the same way that I finished all the trim in the house. So it's tying it all together. This rust ties in with the backsplash. All my railing on my deck will mimic this piece, kind of. I'm going to do it a little differently because I have to have it modular. I have to take all that stuff apart when I move the house, so that's redundant. Redundant Dan. Rum and Coke. Saving my heart. My heart just can't take that Red Bull and vodka no more. I'm going to die. But I think it turned out pretty cool. I have it temporarily fastened in right here with one screw. And yeah, I'm happy with it. I don't hit my head on it. And it serves its purpose. It's safety. You guys in safety. I've got a video where it's just unbelievable the amount of safety police that are out there. It's kind of ridiculous. The propane tiny house propane tank wood stove or whatever it's called. Oh God! Anytime December when it starts getting cold, that video spikes in views and the negativity comes in like crazy. Before I end this video, I do get a lot of questions about metal studs, framing tiny houses with metal studs. Looking back on it, the more I've educated myself on it, I would have done metal studs. I'm not an expert in that field. I was a wood framer for years, so that's what I knew, that's what I did. If you're looking to save on weight, metal studs are a good option. There's a YouTube channel called Tiny It Yourself, that's it. They use metal studs and they do go into some good detail about why they chose it, how they make it maybe, you know, all the good things that you might want to know about metal studs. Plus there are well edited videos that are watchable. I hate unwatchable videos, but I watch them, but I hate them. But if you want to check them out, I'll leave the link to their channel down below. Show them some love, subscribe to their channel. They're about maybe halfway done, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. But they've got good videos. Give them some thumbs up so they keep producing the content that they're producing, because they are good videos and they're helpful for future tiny house builders. So I think you should check them out. Again, Tiny It Yourself. If I got that wrong, that's going to suck. That means I wrote it down right there, probably. Right there, right here. I wrote it down right here. No, here. Here. Not linking it there. Not doing that. That's too much work.